Good. Is it working for Trixie? Good. If you need to add that hand signal, do so. Just say that word first. Give them a beat, see what they do, and then add that hand signal.
Down. Sit.
This is just to warm them up.
Yes, Eddie.
Good. And just like I heard I heard Shaz doing there with Eddie, that yes comes in at the very end. So when the reward comes in, so sit down, sit, and then it's yes and reward, because we're doing all three. We're teaching them that sometimes that reward is a little bit delayed after they've done a few different things. And we're just playing, aren't we? We're just playing. We're just playing.
Eddie, sit. Yes, Eddie. Your eyes, Eddie. What's in your eyes?
Going back up from a down to a sit can be a little bit tricky, so you may need to help out with that one. She's like, I'm looking at you. I know you want something. I'll talk to you.
Down.
There we go. Good job.
Down.
All right.
Yes, Eddie.
Okay. And then so last week too, we were doing touches last week, right? So were we adding in some movement with that touch too, getting them actually moving around? We were doing the spin.
Yes.
How's that all going?
Sometimes.
So.
Yeah.
So. Okay, yeah. Perfect. I was going to say we'll do it this week. Do you guys want to do a little bit of that? To do a few touches with them as well? This is all just looking up. Hi, Webby. Good girl, Kiara. Even just starting off with a few touches with some movement. Just it doesn't have to be the spin, just movement with touches. Good.
Eddie. Touch. Touch. Yes, Eddie.
Good job, Eddie. Good job, Trixie. Yeah, good job, Trixie. And we're doing multiples. Fantastic. Good. All right. Okay, so today's class, we are going to be working on that leave it, that off. I know I talked a little bit about it last week because you were asking about socks and t-shirts and those kinds of things and how to get them to let go. So we're going to do that a little bit more today. We're going to work on leave it as a cue. Before that, we're going to do a watch me, which is maybe we should have a little play first. I think Kiara is telling us that she wants to do a little something. So do a quick find it if your pup's thinking, or do a little quick little play for maybe like a minute just to give them a little bit of Kiara a little bit of a breather. She's like, I want to play with you. Megan said grab jumpers, right? That's what she was talking about when she said leave it. That's a really cool snake. Get that toy, Eddie. That toy is as big as Eddie.
Yeah, it is. He loves like pinning it down though sometimes.
That makes sense. He's Jack Russell.
Yep.
And Trixie just says, and the food? I'm a lab. Where's my food?
Hey.
Hi, Dad.
Hey.
Perfect. All right, so just a quick play because we were just running through things that we've done before just to kind of get them warmed up. We typically will start the classes with just something to get them kind of thinking and working, so something they've done before when we meet in person as well. Did we talk about gotcha in the first week? We did. Okay, that's going to be important for next week when you are in person. So doing some of that practice of going up to your puppy, treat on the end of the nose, gotcha, to help move them away from play. Because when we do that in person, when they are playing together, it's going to be something useful to practice. We'll call that out. I imagine Jen will go through it again with you, just to remind you. But that's something that's going to be important for next week, just to break up that play in a fun, happy way. All right, so we're gonna do a watch me. You may have already started doing this one as well. Some people call it look at me. It's basically getting our dog's attention away from something that they want, something that they're interested in, and onto me instead. The nice thing about encouraging it, like Kiara's doing right now, beautiful attention onto mum there. One of the nice things about teaching it is that the more we can encourage it and reward it, the more it's likely going to happen naturally on its own, because they know that that isn't a reinforcing thing, and it's basically getting them to look into our eyes or our face. It definitely helps with recall. It definitely helps with loose leash walking as well, which we'll be doing next week. So anytime, what I would definitely suggest that anytime you're on a walk or you're walking around the house and your pup is, sorry, my phone's talking to me. Anytime you're on a walk or walking around the house and your pup does look up at you, I would definitely mark and reward that too, especially when you're out on a walk. But to encourage it, what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a little treat. All our puppies seem to like their food. I'm going to start off with a little treat in my hand. Oh, 2 treats, sorry. I'm going to have 2 treats. I'm going to have one in my hand and one behind my back. So, oopsies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show Puppy that I have the treat. So I'm going to put this little treat on the end of the nose, and then I'm going to bring it up to kind of eye line. And what I'm wanting my puppy to do, it's a very simple thing to do. Move your eyes off this treat, which you have probably followed up with your eyes and your nose. You're going to be staring at it, and I'm going to say the word watch me, and I'm going to wait for my puppy to move their eyes away from the treat and onto my face. I like to, if I put it here, I have a hard time seeing that flickering movement. What you're probably going to find is your puppy's going to be very quick with their, but I want the treat. So looking over, so having it a little bit further away gives you that chance to be able to see that eye movement. If it's too far away, they're going to just not want to take their eyes off it at all. So I kind of like to do a little bit of have a little teapot to start off with. We will make this harder and it'll be more interesting, the thing that they want. So again, what I'm going to do, show Puppy the treat, bring it up, say watch me, and then I'm going to wait. Typically, Puppy might try sitting, laying down, spinning, barking, whatever else. I'm just going to wait for that thing that I want, which is for them to go, what do you want from me? And then look over at my face. And the moment I see those little eyes move over, I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to reward with the treat from behind my hand behind my back, sorry. So you don't always get the thing that you want, but you get the same thing, but from somewhere else. So helping them to move away from things that they want.
You watch me?
So try that. Try and say watch me only one time when you do it. So I'm going to show Gypsy. I'm going to say watch me. Yes. And I'm going to trust that you guys are getting eye contact because I can't see what they're doing. So I'm going to trust that you guys are getting it. Ready? Watch me.
Watch me. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Give that a bit of a go.
Eddie, watch me. Eddie, watch me. Yeah. Oh, save once. Yeah. Okay.
Eddie.
If Trixie's having a hard time, maybe try standing up. Sometimes if we're a little too close, they do think, oh, I can just get it. I'm just gonna jump at it. Try standing up if it's a little trickier.
Yes.
We will get to the point that we are bringing it down towards them. To start off with, we're gonna keep it simple and have it a little bit higher up.
Eddie, watch me. Yes.
We got two puppies training over in my bottom corner anyway. What's the doodle's name again?
Eddie, watch me. Eddie, watch me.
That's Cody.
Cody.
Cody, yeah.
He heard me say doodle. He's like, I'm the doodle. I'm coming over.
Yeah. He loves hanging out with the others. So.
Oh, he can stay and train if he wants to as well. We can do it with him as well. That's fine.
No, he'll distract Kiara.
Oh, fair enough.
Cody, go.
Eddie.
Rachel, can you take her? Come. You just.
How's Trixie getting on with that? Good. Perfect.
So Megan,
Yep.
is like when do we use watch me? Like if he's getting distracted, would that be the best time to say watch me?
Yeah, so that's when we're gonna that's like the real life scenario for it, is like if he's looking over at squirrels or dogs or anything else, you could say watch me and have him look back at you. We're starting off with a treat to start off with, just to teach him what that means, what that word means. We'll make it a little bit harder, so we can do that in a second. By adding 2 treats or bringing it closer to his face. You can, if he loves his toys, you could do it for a toy too. So before you throw that ball for him to chase it, we can bring it up, say watch me, and practice him looking away from that toy. The more we can generalize it to anything that he wants, the real life situation scenario would be look away from the dog or the squirrel, the rabbit, the person, whatever it is, and look at me instead.
Okay.
Bearing in mind that on your walks and things, how easy it's going to be for them to actually follow through with that watch me is going to depend on how close you are. Like you'll probably find a sweet spot of distance where they are able to look at the thing, you say watch me, and they look back at you. If you're too close, he's going to be like, no, there's a squirrel, there's a rabbit. Especially with Eddie, he's probably like, I need to get that thing. That's me. I'm a terrier. I'm going to eat that thing. So yeah, so just bear that in mind when you are on a walk if you are practicing it.
And then even when we're walking, once he looks at us, we should give him a treat just to kind of.
I would to start off with, yeah. If he's doing it often and he's picked up the game and he's like walking along, treat, treat, treat. That if he's doing that already, what I might do is every other or every second or third, but every now and again I'm going to, especially if he's walking next to me nicely. Dogs, we'll touch on this a bit more next week, but dogs typically don't. They have their legs move faster, their locomotion is much more efficient, and they're much more excited about the world. So typically they are ahead of us. But if they are next to me and looking in, the more I reward that and make hanging out with me the sweet spot and fun stuff, and I get talked to, I get treats sometimes, they're going to want to walk with us more. So yeah, so I definitely would do that. And it encourages him to check back in with you. So I know you guys are really interested in hiking and stuff too. So when he's off leash, the more we can practice checking in with us around the house, in the garden, on the leash, on a long line, the more likely it's that default thing that then happens when he's off leash as well. So he'll run, in theory, he'll run on ahead, check back, and then you can say go ahead or come back or whatever too. So those check-ins are really nice to encourage. Same with everyone else if they were planning on doing off leash hiking and stuff like that. So we will, in that vein, we're going to make this a little bit harder too. So what we're going to do this time is we are going to use 2 treats. Again, 2 treats, but we're actually going to have 2 treats up and above. So have them up here. So then our puppy is looking at where do I look before they get to our face, and obviously then you have to reward with one of them. You can't bring a third one from behind your back unless you've got a third arm that I don't know about, which is cool. So we're going to do the same thing. So show puppies treats, watch me, and then have them look away from the treat. So give that a bit of a practice now. And then I'll make it hard, and I'll give you some homework to make it even harder.
The minute he looks.
And then you get to the point where they don't even look away.
Eddie. Watch me. Yes, yes.
He's like, I can get it. I'm a good jumper.
Eddie.
I'm just gonna go rescue my cat for a second.
Eddie. Eddie. Watch me. Please look at you. Eddie, come here. Watch me.
My cat is an absolute pain for getting into my dog treats. He just loves them, and he'll just find any way to get into the treats wherever they are. I know. It makes you mad, doesn't it? Good. All right, is that going pretty well for everybody? Everyone seems like they're doing really well with that one. Did they find it a bit harder with the 2 treats? Yeah, perfect. So we can work on that. Oopsies. And in the week too, so work on that in the week. It seems like everyone's picking it up pretty quickly with the 2. So what I'm going to get you guys to do in the week to kind of practice, you can even do a couple now if you want, is we're slowly going to bring those treats closer to our dog. So the idea also is that we can have the treat right in front. Can't see it. I'm going to say, watch me. Yes. And she can take her eyes off the treat and onto me. So to get to that point from here might take a step here and then a step here and then a down here, and then we're slowly moving it towards. And then you can do things like add movement in. So I could be doing this and say, watch me. Yes, and I keep that eye contact while there's movement and treats going on as well. So we build up those steps slowly. So where we are right now, we're up here. The closer that treat is to that dog's face, the more, again, with that distance thing, with the dog being close or far away. Same with the treat. This is how we're going to start it off. The closer that treat is, the more he thinks, the more puppies are going to think, oh, I can get that. And they're going to forget what that watch me means. So we're going to make it incrementally harder. And when they're very good at it, we can move on to the next step. When we are making things harder, one of the ways to kind of tell if you're not sure if you should like push on to the next step, I usually do a count of 10. So I'll take kind of 10 kibbles or 10 treats and I count it out. And if they are able to do it easily 8 or more times out of 10, then I can make that thing harder. If they're getting it kind of 6 or 7 times and then the 8th and they're sort of getting lost after that, I might stay at that same level. So I might keep my hand say here if that was 6 or 7 times. If they're not able to get it when it's here and they're doing sort of less than 5 times where they can't really get it, I'll make it easier again. I'll go back a step before. Does that kind of make sense? When you're thinking about making things harder, I use 10 because it's just an easy number to go with. So
Watch me. Yeah.
good job, Eddie. So if you want to do a couple of those, bringing it closer, and then we'll do a quick little play, and then we'll work on we'll talk about leave it and some resource guarding-y type stuff.
Watch me. Yes.
Good job, Eddie. Oopsie.
Watch me. Watch me.
Should I do?
I'll lick your knee instead. That works, right? I saw that.
Rascal.
And Trixie's like, if I hide under where the camera is, they'll never know. And I'm doing it right. All right, so if you want to do a little bit of a play, just to give them a little bit of a break, just a couple of minutes. We'll do more puppy play in the puppy play lasts a little bit longer in class. Because they're also learning when they're playing too, right?
Okay.
This is ball. Green ball.
Oh, that.
Maybe I'll do that. Put this in.
Back up.
Come on,
Eddie, come on.
Can you hear it? Intrigued by Eddie and the squeaky dog.
Sorry? Hey, good. Yeah.
Leave it. Back up. give you guys a break, and we'll make the dog work instead. Next week does involve a little bit of moving on your behalf too. Whoops, that's my watch. No, thanks. Okay, so we will do. We're gonna work on leave it and off. You guys already may have tried this, or I imagine with all the sock stealers that we have, you probably definitely tried this already or started this. Obviously, leave it is as it says on the tin, leaving an item that they either have in their mouth or they have not grabbed yet, but they might be going with their mouth. You can use you use whatever cue you want to use. I use leave it to mean if you have not picked up that thing, do not pick it up. If you already have it, let it go. It's interchangeable for both of those things. Jen, our head trainer, uses the word off. You could use that too. I tend to use the word off to get off of the couch. I don't want to confuse myself, so my off is different. So I use the word leave it, as in don't touch it or let go of it. We're going to start off with a little treat. Obviously, we'll start them off with treats because that's the easiest thing that we can control, and then we can start to move it on to toys and generalize it to other things too. This one is important for when I do say the word leave it, or whatever you use if you want to use off. When you do say it, you do only want to say it one time, because you want them to, you don't want this to be something that, for example, if they've grabbed something dangerous, you don't have to say leave it a whole bunch of times before they let go of it, because by that point, maybe they've already swallowed it. So to practice it, oh gosh, we're going to do it a few different ways. The first way we're going to do it, hopefully you can hear me over the squeaking, sorry. The first way we're going to do it, we're actually also going to teach a leave it and a take it. It's going to be quite important when we are asking them to leave something that they can get back, that they know the difference between, okay, you can now get that thing back versus no, don't take that thing back, come away and get something else. It's quite important to teach them that distinction. I have a great video I'll send you of one of our head trainers doing this with another dog, and that distinction wasn't very clear for him, and she asked him to leave a treat. She said yes, and then he went back and took the same treat that she said don't take. I'll send you that as well, so to kind of to make it more clear. But I'll leave it to start off with. We're going to start off again at kindergarten level, very easy. I'm going to start with a treat in my hand. I'm going to show it to my puppy, and then I'm going to close my hand up and say leave it or off. I'm then going to wait for my puppy to move their own head away. I'm not going to move my hand away because I want my puppy to figure out that leave it means I have to have patience and move my head away and wait. And the moment I get that head moving away, I can say, yes, take it. And the take it means you can have this treat that I asked you to stay away from first off. So I'll show you what that looks like. Gypsy has done this quite a few times, so she may not be doing what other puppies do, which is to scrabble and scratch and sniff and try and get that treat. But if she did, I would just keep that fist closed until she moves away. Obviously, if they are biting and it's kind of, you can like move your hand a little bit so that you can get away from the teeth, but try not to pull your own hand away. Come on. So I'm gonna put the treat in my hand, make it smaller, leave it. Try to get it. Yes, take it. So again, leave it. Pretending she's scrabbling at it. Yes. When she lets go, when she moves her head away, yes, take it. Leave it. Yes, take it. So give that a bit of a, does that kind of make sense? It's not she's not a very good demo dog for this because she doesn't try and get the treat out of my hand, but.
Yes, take it.
Give that.
Go.
Oh, good job, Kiara. You're a step ahead of us.
Leave it.
Good.
Leave it. Leave it.
With Kiara, if you've already been practicing with the open fist, try and lower it. So you have it up high. We want to make it even more accessible for her.
Leave it?
Have it here, so leave it.
Yes.
Yes. Much hard. Oh, okay, you've already got on the floor. There we go. You guys are doing pretty well with this one. Keep practicing it.
So our problem is when after she actually puts something in her mouth.
Right. We'll talk about that just in a moment. Ouch! That's my hand. Ow! Ow! Okay, back up. Oh, okay, we're gonna do this, are we? Where's your toy? Get the toy. Where's your toy? Where's your toy?
Leave it. Leave it.
Where's the toy?
Yes.
Where's the chicken?
Take it. Yes.
Eddie. Leave it. Take it.
Good.
Yes.
Good job. How's Trixie doing? Sorry, I was being eaten by my dog, so it's hard to watch what everyone was doing.
Yes. Take it. Take it.
My dog gets mouthy when she wants the bathroom or something. She just.
I think it's so fun to keep your hand. Yeah.
Good.
Eddie. Leave it. Take it.
Perfect. Okay, so this time we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a variation on that theme. We're gonna do again, leave it, but this time we're not gonna say take it, because we're gonna pretend that this is a piece of like squirrel jerky or something that they really can't have back. So we're gonna say leave it, and when they do leave it, we're gonna say yes, no take it, and then reward with a treat from the other hand, and we're gonna remove this one. So that's simulating the start of simulating, you know, if it was something that they don't get to have back, like, you know, your favorite chocolate bar that you dropped on the ground. Ow!
Leave it. Yes. Take it.
With Kiara, have you been practicing with the both ways? So one, you get to have the treat, and sometimes you get to have a different treat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty good with it. We can put, yesterday I put a treat right on her paw and
Wow.
tore it off, and she stayed away.
You are level. You're a couple of levels ahead.
Yeah. But the problem is, if she puts something in her mouth, to get her to drop it is impossible.
Okay, we'll have a little bit of a talk about that just in a second. Yeah, like we said.
Oh no, first I say.
Depending on what it is, you'll do different things.
Yeah, like I don't know whether you saw, Kiara was trying to bite Sarah's sleeves.
Yeah.
And even if we wave a treat in front of her face, she's not going to let go of that sleeve.
Okay.
Right.
We can. What? That's my pocket. Excuse you. I'm gonna throw my monster out into the garden for a pee, because this is her. I need a pee biting, I think.
Leave it. Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Eddie. Leave it. Yes.
Sorry, I'm just backing out. Okay. You got your fingers there. Just Trixie got your fingers. Okay. All right. So with that step, bear with us here, Ron. What we're gonna do once they are consistently staying away from that closed hand, which seems like it's going pretty well for everybody. What we're gonna start to do is we're gonna say leave it, and then we're gonna start to open up our hands. As we open up our hands, again, we want to not move our own hand away. We want our puppies to move their head away. So if I begin to open up my hand and I have not said yes, and I've said leave it, I still want my puppy to stay away from my hand. So I'm going to say leave it and begin to open. Every time my puppy goes back to try and take that treat, if I have not said yes and take it, I'm going to close my fist up. I'm going to be communicating to my dog with my hand only, not with my voice, that you don't get this until you sit back and you relax. So I'm going to say leave it just one time and then begin to open up my hand. If they go back for it, close it up. But don't say leave it again, just close it back up. And then you're waiting until you may only get your hand open, say this, like a little cup to start off with while they're staying away from it. I would definitely say yes and reward for that. Eventually we're going to be able to do what Kiara's doing there and putting it on the paw. So this is kind of the start of it. We want to make this sort of easy for them. Some of them pick it up really quickly. Some of them don't have very much impulse control. Puppies are not born with natural impulse control. They are born with everything is mine, I want it now. Like small children. Oh, was it? Audrey, your screen froze there for a second, so I thought, oh wow, she's doing the longest leave it ever, but the screen had frozen. Good job. You can keep doing it with Kiara. It's really good practice for that impulse control. You can try two treats on the paw, or one treat each paw.
Leave it. Leave it. Eddie.
Good job, Eddie. I would reward that. I know he was distracted there, but I would definitely still take that because he's like, okay, I'm going to fully take my head away from it.
Eddie. Leave it.
Good. And then just as, I don't know, you guys can't see what Audra's doing, but just as Audra's doing there, practice it both ways. Sometimes it's take it with the treat that I said stay away from, and sometimes I'm going to remove that one and then give you a second treat. Because we do want to practice what that take it means as well, so that they are, like I say, we're not picking up squirrel jerky or glass or something else that's not desirable, or wet wipes. I had a dog pick up a wet wipe on me the other day and I had to grab it when I didn't have gloves on. It was lovely. Yeah, exactly. Good dog. Oh, Kiara. Good girl. Very good.
Leave it. Take it. Yes.
Good job, Eddie.
Good boy.
Perfect. We'll maybe do 3 or 4 more of those, and then we'll do a quick little play because impulse control is quite hard for them, other than Kiara, who's like a pro at this point, I think. But it's quite hard for them to keep containing themselves. So we'll do a little bit of play, and then I'll grab my monster. And then if you have a toy that your puppy really likes and will grab, go ahead and make sure you have that to hand so we can use that in a second too. Yeah. All right. Seems like everyone's having a good old play there. All right, so except Kiara, who is just done with me today. She's like, I'm not playing now. We're done. I'm tired. I played yesterday with my friend Axel. We're good. So yeah, so what we're gonna do leave it again now with toys, and this will also be translated to things like clothing and stuff like that. If your puppy does like to play tug is actually a really nice game to play with your dog. Some people worry that it can make them more aggressive, or that they worry on those sorts of terms. If you play it appropriately, it's a really good outlet for them. It's a really good way of them burning off energy, burning off steam. A lot of dogs love it. It's a very natural thing for them to do, if that they naturally would catch prey and take it and tug it and do all these things. So it actually is really good for them to do it. So I do encourage you to play tug. Don't be afraid of it if anyone tells you that you should be worried about it. But the important thing with playing tug is that we do want to teach our dogs to let go of something, which also can then translate to clothing and things. We start off with toys to make it easier. We'll give you some tips for letting go of clothing and stuff as well. But to start off with, again, we want to teach that leave it also means when you have it, let go of it. So we will start with a toy because that's something they're allowed to have and they can have back, and we can work with it. The idea of it is that I'm going to play with my dog, get them really interested in the toy. When they have a hold of it, I'm going to make it fun, make it play. And then when I say leave it, I'm going to gather up everything that I can. So if her mouth is just on this bit, I'm going to gather it up, hold it really, really still, which might involve you holding it close to your body, because if it's out here, there's still some pull on your arms where they still get to tug with. So I would hold it really close to me and wait them out. Wait for that moment they let go of the toy, because it's boring now. They don't want to keep playing with it, so I'm going to let go of it. I'm going to wait for them to let go of it. As soon as they let go, yes, take it. And then we make it really fun and really alive again. I do a few repetitions of that. They learn that when I grab it all in, it becomes boring and we don't want to keep playing with it. So what it would look like with Gypsy, you can see us here. So we're going to play. It's really fun. It's really fun. And I'm going to grab it all up. I'm going to say, leave it. Yes, take it. And then we can play again. And it becomes really fun and alive. And you may only find, to start off with, you may only get a slight loosening in the jaw, and you may not get that step back, or like I said, even if it's just a split second of a loosening of the jaw or a let go, even for a second, yes, take it, and then it's alive again. We can build up that time later on. So if you have a tug toy that you probably will play with right now, give it a go. But it's the gathering up of everything to make it less fun that's going to be really helpful to you. Gypsy did take a long time to learn to let go of things, because she loves to use her mouth on everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leave it.
The beautiful thing about playing this too is it also teaches them to get excited and then calm down. So we get really into it. Our brain levels are like through the roof. We're endorphins. We're having a good time. But then we can calm them down by asking them to stop and leave it and think for a second. Have that control, that impulse control again. So leave it. Yeah, good girl. Get it, girl. Get it. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Oh, sorry. I didn't. Okay.
This might be one to practice a bit later on with I mean, it would work also with if they had a ball. Like if Eddie has a ball, you can always mind the teeth but hold the ball very still and boring, and then just wait and say leave it. When he lets go of it, I would say yes and throw it. Similar idea. If he's really into balls and he just wants to he's just like, no, that's good. That's good. I had a thought.
Okay.
All right.
Leave it.
There's so much of that snake to grab.
Leave it.
even try with Kiara is having it lower to the ground so that she's not able to jump back up again. So I do that with Gypsy sometimes, is I just sort of bring everything right onto the ground so it's really like, and maybe a smaller toy to start off with.
69.
Leave it?
Good. Might be an easier thing to go with, start with. Good. And then the other thing, oh, good job. The other thing that we're gonna do now with those toys is, as you're playing with them, what we can do this time is when they let go of it, say yes and give a treat. So we're now trading, and we're gonna trade for a treat instead, and then we can play again. So we'll do a few repetitions of that. Good. So that's what. So when they let go of it for a treat, we're going to say yes and give that treat. When they let go of it for a toy, we're going to say take it, and they can take it again. Does that kind of make sense? So the yes is the food reward, and so that's going to sort of simulate when they do have things like clothing they shouldn't have, versus when they have a toy that they can have. So we again want to teach them that take it means go back and grab that thing. Yes just means let go of it, get a treat instead, and don't grab that thing back again. Does that kind of make sense? With clothing, so when our dogs are grabbing our sleeves, I'm going to do a very similar thing. I'm going to grab everything. So say if she has her mouth on this, I'm going to grab everything up. I'm going to wait. When she lets go of it, I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to give a treat and then pull my sleeve back. I'm not going to just try and pull it out of her mouth, because the more I'm pulling it out of the mouth, that's just a game of tug. Now that's really fun. So I'm going to make it really boring, bring it all in. Gypsy has this thing of jumping at me on the street and stuff too, so I often will get down low to her level, because she seems to like to jump up as well. So if I get down low, I get down boring, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to wait. You're going to let go. The moment you let go, if they know what that yes word means, they know a good thing. So I mean, yes, good, and then the treat will come out. So have them handy, especially if it's happening a lot around the house. I would have treats kind of handy so that when she does grab, we can be rewarding for letting go. We don't want this to obviously become a behavior chain where I grab the thing and then I wait for my treat. But for now, I would focus on doing this. It does take quite a while for a behavior chain to form where I grab the thing and then I wait for my treat. And what typically you will see is you will see them grab the thing, let go of the thing, look up to you and be like, I did the thing, do I get the treat now? So if you're seeing that, then maybe we're figuring out that there's a chain. But if we're not seeing that grab, look up, let go, do I get it now? Then we probably haven't figured that chain out. So for now, to really get her used to don't bite my things, I would make everything boring and then say, when she lets go, yes, treat comes out. Or you could say, I would avoid saying take it when you have, or grabbing a toy and saying take it when you have my sleeve, because I don't want you to go back in and take my sleeve, if that makes sense. So that's where that take it is different. So I would say yes and have a treat for that. If I have a toy, typically in that moment too, I'm probably going to figure that she wants to play. So if I have 5 minutes, so I can take a couple of minutes, I might then grab a toy, and we can even do renditions of that. Tug, 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 leave it, take it, tug, 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 leave it, take it, tug, tug, tug. So again, we're practicing with that too. So we're getting her off the thing with the treat, but then we're going to play again with something else. Does that all make sense? It's kind of a little bit of a jumbled explanation there. So practice both ways. Well, I would say practice, but hopefully you don't have to practice too much of the on the sleeve thing, but definitely practice with the toy. So sometimes trade the toy for a treat and then have a minute and then play again. Sometimes trade the toy for more play. So that we're practicing both ways. We're learning that take it and leave it and take it mean the same sort of thing there. So definitely do that. The other thing I would like you guys to kind of practice this week, or going forward, is what we call the trade game. So trading out things that our puppy can have for other good things. So what can happen with resource guarding or dogs that want to kind of protect the items that they have, typically what happens in those cases is that we resource guarding is a very natural behavior for a dog to have. When they have something good, they don't want to give it up, they want to keep a hold of that thing. So we really want to teach them that us being around them or taking those things off them is good, it's fine, nothing to worry about. And so the way that we would do that is through that trade game. So right now, Dipsy's, I don't want to take it off because she's nice and quiet, but she's enjoying this chicken here. If I constantly go in and take things off my puppy all the time and they have something good that they really like, if I keep going in and taking it off them, or if I see them grab something fun and expensive and I run over going, whoa, no, give me that back, that makes that thing really much more exciting and they're going to want to keep a hold of it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to first off practice when they have something good that they really want by sprinkling a few treats away from the item so that they move their head away, they grab the treats, and then I can take that thing away and then give that thing right back. So I would practice with things like chew sticks, if your puppy's okay with those, with toys like this. So what I would do here to start off with, I'm going to sprinkle some treats. So Gypsy lets go of it, I'm going to take it away, and then she gets it right back. And the more I can practice that controlled version of I take it away, you get it back, treats, away, get it back. I'm sprinkling the treats away so she moves her head away. What tends to happen with a dog that's worried about me taking things off of them, and that's all it is. It's not that they're being protective or they don't want me to, it's more of them being worried that they have this fun thing they don't want us to get rid of or to take away. But I want her moving her own head away before I go in and grab that toy. So I'm going to sprinkle, I'm going to take it, and then she gets it right back. The more renditions of that I can do of that practice, the more kind of trust in a, say, trust bank she's going to have for me. Like, okay, you take my thing sometimes, I get snacked, and then I get that thing right back again. I'm not worried about it. That can then begin to translate to things like chews that she has, or a bully stick that she loves, something like that, but then she's not going to be as worried about me coming over and taking off of her. So I would be practicing too with Kongs. I have a chew up there for her that I was going to practice with too. But definitely practicing with that. And then any item that our dog does grab and we don't want them to have, so say if it's food, it's probably going to be gone really quickly. But if it's something that they shouldn't have, like an expensive bag or a shoe or something like that, what I'm going to do in that case is I'm going to try and keep myself nice and calm and not panic and run over. I'm going to, ooh, what have you got there? And then wander over nice and quietly. And then I will sprinkle quite a few treats to get them to let go of it and grab that thing. And then I can take that thing away instead as well. So that they're still getting something for me practicing taking that item off of them. Does that kind of make sense? Resource guarding is a bit of a tricky one. We don't want them, what you'll typically see with a dog that is resource guarding, the starts of it are when they grab that fun sock and then they run away from you and they don't want to give it back to you. I don't know if anyone's found that already, if their dogs grab a sock or something and run off and then you can't catch them and you're chasing them, and suddenly the more you chase me for this sock, the more this sock is really fun, I'm gonna keep this. And so instead, if we can just be like, oh God, he's got the sock again, what have you got there, buddy? And then kind of sidle over nice and calm, really boring, sprinkle those treats, take that thing away. We take the whole game out of it, we take the fun out of it that way. So just practicing, obviously you don't have to do this forever. At some point, once we've built up that trust with us, taking those things off of them, we don't have to use treats for the rest of their life to take things off of them, but just to start off, to get that real good foundation of don't be worried when I take things off you, practice this a few times. And so practice it with Kongs and chews and anything that they're kind of enjoying. Does that make sense to practice? Just to help keep that resource guarding kind of at bay. If you do see anything like what typically happens if not running away, you'll often see them kind of get stiff and hover over that thing. So like, I really want this is mine, or they begin to kind of protect it. You're still going to do the same thing. I would just sprinkle those treats much further away so they can really let go of it. I never want to go in if my dog is growling or hovering over something. I don't want to just go and take it off them. I'm going to break up that tension that they're feeling about it with something else that they can practice with. They can move their head away, take that thing, and then I know I need to practice that a bit more. Hopefully no one's seeing any of that right now. Hopefully all our puppies are just like, oh, you have my thing, that's fine, okay, fine. Hopefully that's still the case. It's a little bit breed specific, or breed some breeds have more of a tendency to guard than others. Gypsy used to guard when I'm 9 weeks old. She was a little bit guardy. She's still quite guardy with other animals. She doesn't like other animals being around her when she has food. It is a very natural behavior, but that's just something to practice with as well, just to make sure we do keep that relationship good when I'm taking things off of you. There's nothing worse than being bitten by trying to take something off you though. All right. We have 3 minutes left. I was just going to end with a quick on your place, which we were doing last week. I think last week we were adding the words, we were adding on your the words on your place when they go on their place. Is that correct? That's where we had got to. We're thinking about it.
I remember going to like a mat or something. Yeah.
Perfect. And when they go on it, as they're walking onto it, we're going to say place as they're laying, and then they're going to lay down. Ideally, that's kind of ideally where we would be at. If we're still working on it, that's fine too. What we're going to do now is we're going to add in some movement. Gypsy, not the cat. Gypsy, good girl. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to add some distraction and movement in. Oopsie. I have my place here. Place. So place means lay down on the mat, which is what she's done. I can say yes and reward. And I'm going to add some movement distraction in. So I'm going to start stepping around. Did we do this last week at all? Is this ringing bells? Did we add movement in last week? Yes.
I remember we just got them to sit and like,
stay on that place. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to add in some movement. So we are going to practice taking a few steps back, moving around. As long as our dog doesn't move, yes. I can go back into them, mark and say yes and reward them for it. If it's going well, like it seems to be, I can begin to add that cue stay. Gypsy.
stay.
Place. My stay is an open palm out, stay. This is what I would do. I'm just going to say it once. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to only try and say it when I'm going to do something that I know my puppy can follow through with. I don't want to say stay, take 3 steps back and have my puppy follow me. I want to say stay and only go to the limit that they're able to stay at. So they're learning whether that stay means stay still, and I will release you or afterwards. So with this, I know she's okay for me to take 2 steps back. So I would say stay, and I'm going to take 2 steps back. Yes. And I can go back in and reward for that. I'm going to say, and again, stay, this way, yes, back in and reward. And then before they get up, I'm going to say, okay, we're all done, to let them get up and do something else. I don't want to practice too many times of saying stay and having them get up and move. So just kind of go at the speed of your pup. Oh gosh, Eddie. He's like, I'm not done playing with my ball.
Sit. Stay. Okay.
Yeah. So with Eddie, because 2 steps seems to be too hard, just take 1, go back in after that. We can build up to 2 after.
Yes.
Good job.
Trixie's decided she's done.
I see that. She's like, I'm really good at staying because this is comfy and I'm tired.
Yeah.
Bless. Well, Trixie has picked her timing well because it is noon. We are officially done with class. So once you've done your last one, you can release your puppy. Gypsy. Hey. Oh, there she goes. Release your puppy. And then that's officially the end of class. So let me know if you have any other questions. Did that kind of answer some questions, Ron, for you with the sleeve biting and stuff like that? It is going to be a bit of...
Yeah, we'll keep practicing that.
Sorry to rescue my cat again. It is a little bit of just waiting them out, and you may start off with just even a release of the jaw, and then that yes and reward. If she's really not letting go of it, then you could try that treat scatter, and do quite a few. Sometimes with some puppies that are really not wanting to let go of something, especially if it's something they really can't have, we've emptied like treat pouches. Jen, our head trainer, had a Malamute dog that there was a whole plastic bag with things in it, and he just grabbed it. And so she had to throw a whole bag on the floor trying to get him to let go of the bag. So sometimes you may have to use extras just to really encourage and start off that. Let go of it, good things happen, and then we have something else too.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Just wanted to confirm, next week, would that
Yep.
be in-person training?
It's in person, yeah, that's it. It's going to be at 802 South Down Road. And like I said, I don't know if you were on the call when I said, but I don't think it's going to be me. It's going to be our head trainer and Jen, and I'll meet you all hopefully the week after. 11 days, whatever that is. I think that's the rule still, unless they've changed it and I can come out. I don't know. I'll we'll see. Hopefully, I want to make sure we stay safe. So it might not be me. It definitely won't be me for that first one. But yeah. But I'm sure I'll see you at socials and stuff. So I'll be fine too. And next week we're gonna do recall and walking. So loose leash walking and recall. Bring some. Bring inside trainers that you can run around in, because we do get you moving a little bit in the class. It's kind of fun.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Someone will see you next week
Okay.
to watch them play for a change. Bye.